one of the interesting things about successful people focus on what they want to do, not on what they don't want to do. This is so unique. It's such a unique aspect of successful people. You see, if I ask you and I say, don't think about a white polar bear. Don't think about a white polar bear. Don't think about a white polar bear. Stop thinking about a white polar bear. What are you going to think about? You're going to think about a white polar bear. Why? Because you're focusing on what you don't want to think of. You see, if you focus on making mistakes and you say, I don't want to make a mistake, I don't want to make a mistake, what ends up happening? You make a mistake. It's a basic rule in night driving, isn't it? If you're driving at night and there's oncoming traffic, what do they say? They say, don't focus on the headlights of that particular car coming. Why? You tend to gravitate towards whatever you're focusing on, and you start finding yourself beginning to turn there, and then you might have a head-on collision. All right? So it's important to focus on where you're going, on what you want, as opposed to what you're trying to avoid. This is crucial. In psychology, there's what's called the psychology of thought suppression, where someone tries to suppress the thoughts that they have. But we know that that doesn't really work, does it? Again, similar example to the white polar bear example. If I say to you, don't think of an apple, don't think of an apple, what do you think of? You think of an apple. But if I were to say to you, I'd like you to think of a banana. Think of a banana. Think of a banana. You think of a banana. So that's the same in all of life. Focus on what you want. Focus on what you're looking for. And the more you do that, I promise you, you end up getting towards what you really want. You see, if I was to say to you, have you ever seen a Nissan Juke? The car Nissan Juke. Now, for a long time, I hadn't seen any. Well, I had, but I wasn't aware that I had seen them. Until a friend of mine said, Paul, come see my new car. It was a Nissan Juke. And guess what I ended up seeing after that? For weeks after that, I was just seeing Nissan Jukes everywhere. Nissan Juke in an accident, Nissan Juke in... It's the same principle. When you buy a new vehicle, all of a sudden you start noticing all the other cars around there that are like that particular vehicle. Why? Because there's something in your brain, it's called your reticular activator. It shows you what's important to focus on and what should you leave out. You see, when a child is born, a child doesn't have that function fully developed in it. That's why often we'll say to little babies, or we'll say with regards to little babies, don't put them in a place where they end up overly stimulated. Why? They don't know how to filter out the noise. They don't know how to filter out the things that are not important. It's the same with us. As we grow older, we've got this thing called this reticular membrane, reticular activator. It's in the brain, by the midbrain, close to your medulla oblongata. And you find yourself in a situation where it basically plays the function of, this is what you must focus on. Now, if I've told myself at the start of a day, Paul, focus on this, and I rehearse that over and over again, that's what I'm going to notice. If I start my day saying, I'm going to have an awesome day, and I'm really excited about meeting influential people and making a difference in their lives, when I see those influential people, I'm not going to be running away from them. Why? I'm conscious of seeing them and making a difference. I'm going to notice them when I actually see them. If I haven't told myself that, my reticular membrane won't notice it. Just like the Nissan Juke that I didn't notice. Just like the white polar bear that you were trying to avoid thinking about. So tell yourself, how can I replace what I want to avoid with what I actually want? Don't keep saying to yourself, man, I'm just not a person of bad temper. I don't have a bad temper. I don't have a bad temper. Rather focus on what you want. I'm a gentle person. I love listening to other people speak. I value their insights. Guess what will end up happening? You will begin to draw that out of yourself. So remember, the psychology of thought suppression tells us that if you try and suppress thoughts, it doesn't usually work. The way thoughts work is they have to be replaced by what you do want to think, as opposed to having a blank slate where you're not thinking anything. Thank you.